Hey party people, it's me again. I just can't quit you guys. I love you so much. I'm so lonely. Here in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Phoenix born I am. Where the phoenix nests. Lays its young. Here's a little kitty. Comes around. We call him Stubbs. Hey Stubbs. Anyway, let's get straight to the point, shall we? On course correction of fact-based cross-sectioning off the boundaries belying the portal's presence of the aeon through praxis, pragtaction, basic neuro-linguistic or semantic wordplay, or wordsmithing. Here I'm going to talk about the applied charm of accumulated charge distributed through grace. Charm, charisma, confidence. Key qualities, for me anyway. To each his own. This system is about customizability, most importantly. Retrofitting, adaptation, flexibility, wiggle room. Anything you can think of as a way to change it, to integrate your holistic purpose. Increasing whatever you want to increase, decreasing whatever you want to decrease. It's your choice. The saying within the system, I say many times, is choose choice. Meta. That's meta for you. Choose choice. On right reclamation of radical, self-governing, sovereign authority for self-sustaining individuation of memory and integration of memory. Memory within morphogenetic plasmodic fields. The information highway, gateway, heaven, the information sphere of all connectivity, holofractographic memory, ingrains all patterns within an echo chamber that is contained within the entire universe. So everything you ever do will always be remembered within the one word vibration, based on how future changes within the vibratory frequencies and varying distribution of vibes. Those changes, based on how they happen, the effect of a cause will be able to hold the memory of its cause within the way it affects a future cause. So every cause that affects a change its composition in nature and patterns and blah blah blah, its interaction within its environment will be recorded by the way everything is synchro-harmoniously aligned, and through that utmost awe-inspiring intelligent organization of glitch adaptive, I don't know what to call it that anymore, but when you get to that level, the organization of changes in vibration, it's the composition of the changes in the way they interact and transverse and whatnot, that will always hold the memory, morphogenetic memory of the patterns before it. Blast off into omnidimensional hyperspatiality, ultra-temporal. Make a point. Ultra mega hyper meta verge merging absolutes obsolete now until anti-time says to blast off. Anyway, charm, confidence, charisma. These were important qualities to me because I was always interested in hypnotism as, I guess, a part of the program of Anecdotal Myers Aeon, portal presencing praxis of power, pertaining to the pertinent correlations regarding the subject matter at hand that I am discussing with you and forging within the echo chamber of eternal divine holofractographic reality. All that you do and say and think and all that you are is echoing. Its containment within the echo chamber, its conglomeration in future form is determined by its nature here now. And you have a degree of control and influence over how you want your future form to manifest. That has a lot to do with influence. Attaining grace through forgiveness is akin to a hypnotist, holding a steady focus of confident vocal impressions. Confidence, hypnosis without confidence is just, guided meditation. Anyway, charm is part of hypnosis. If you want to be a really good hypnotist, mostly necessary for subterfuge hypnosis, conversational hypnosis, NeuroLinguistic programming. Charm is applied in all these things, and charm applies to your influence over your echo, over the collection of all that you echo throughout the universe, the omniverse. Your influence over that and its movement throughout the omniverse depends on your charm. Charm is attaining grace through forgiveness with confidence. Confidence allows one to see all opposition, like Thruglish worship, as opportunity for growth. That's what Anecdotal Myers is meant to be. A vantage point over all dual illusions that seeks to separate you and divide yourself amidst yourself. Confidence throughout the mist and the haze, the sludge and the grime, the acid rain, the goddamn loud trumpets of the apocalypse blaring, the zombies in the streets roaring their fucking heads off. Amidst all this noise and chaos, composure is needed if one wants to keep control. And so, confidence is key to this. Confidence is chi to this, indeed. Charm, on the other hand, as opposed to confidence, it's not the same. It's direct, precise exaction of attracted attention. Attention upon one's body, mind, is good for you. Also, only if you can really understand how to harness it will you get the most benefit from it. And it will not be good for you if you are allowing your ego to influence your emotional power. Your emotional power is what fuels your system, your holistic integration, your holistic simplex. You need your emotional fuel, and you need to cohere it through the practices of meditation, visualization, integration through concentrated core consecration catalyst to apply to the moment, to make it sacred, to remember the spiritual oneness of all, and that you are not your ego. You are to release identity-based attachments because they weigh you down, and replace them with whatever brings you up toward complete sovereignty of self, governing, awe-inspiring authority. As an arc, rainbow warrior, fighting for individuation and freedom in spirit, mind, and body. All together now, always will be, always was. But for now, if you're suffering, and I say this, use logic to convince your ego that whatever is causing you to leak emotion, slip in the puddles of your suffered, drip blood, vampirized by those who attend to it, doesn't matter how. However you frame your attention is how you will filter or transmute or reform that attention, thus turning it into an energy that your body will use. But if you learn to be clear, intuitive, and sensitive, hone your psychic senses through the practice, you will learn how to harness the entirety of someone's attention over you in its fullest, raw, pure form, clear, purified through the alchemical alembic of the spinal system in the body. The latter, the washing machine, whatever you want to call it, it is an alembic. It refines. You bring something in through the crown chakra. You bring it down, down, down. Filter it. Whole body process. Integrate. First assimilate, then integrate. When it hits the bottom, it goes through the earth, comes back up your feet, bottom of your spine. That's when it's charged with the energy you gave it when it came in. So when you perceive someone's attention on you, that frame, that perceptual frame of yours will determine, designate, and define the nature, the energy that will come back up and affect influence over your being. So when you attend to somebody's attention on you, you realize clear state lucidity of oneness in all things possible. And if you have a certain intent in mind, then you frame your perceptual output, input, fusion, force, simultaneous instantiation of pragtactic strategy and method, tactic, mechanic, current tweaking of the sea. The currency of the situation is what is valuable, which is what produces meaning, which is what holds sway over people. The currency of all time space is attention, focused attention. Focused attention coheres. It can compress time or expand time. It can navigate through space, time space. So the current mechanic is the current energetic function of the situation at hand. I always say that at hand, it's the matter at hand that's subject to our divine attention spans. And it is this matter that holds gravity between 2 points of possibly opposing, maybe not, between 2 points of attention, sharing the load. The load is the weight of what matters. And the current mechanic is the design function of what actually matters behind the illusion. So, say 2 people are having a problem, they're arguing, and they're trying to relate. Maybe they've got a diplomat coming in as a third party, and the matter at hand is, oh, you broke the glass, and now I need to clean it up, but I haven't yet, and so blah, blah, blah. So, the current mechanic is a broken glass. The matter at hand. What's weighing on people. People are sharing the load, but they're fighting over it. They want more than they deserve. So the broken glass as the current mechanic is the veil, the illusion, the symbol. The broken glass is a symbol, and the symbol is the true current mechanic, not the actual physical thing. The physical thing doesn't really matter at all. It's an illusion of separation. We already know that before we even approach the matter at hand. How we approach the matter at hand, where we come from is how we approach the matter at hand. So if you're coming from a place of tension and unresolved, resentment and whatnot, then that's gonna be expressed with your interaction over the matter of sharing the load. Call it sharing the load because the matter is precious. It's what brings people together. It may be a problem or not, but it's the weight that people gravitate towards. It's a center of gravity, and its physical nature, its reality nature is irrelevant as far as currency goes. The current mechanic is the symbolic, metaphorical nature of the reality that matters at hand. Now, subject to your attention span, spanning as much scope and scale as you choose to avail. So remember to be careful how you approach a situation. Where are you coming from? Exactly. Are you in a clear state? Ask yourselves these questions. And approach the matter maybe with an intent to be a diplomat. That's usually mine. I love being the diplomat, angels and demons, bringing them together, fusing the duality into a fusion force, a full form of fact and function, fullness, wholeness, oneness. Cut it short because I'm running low on battery. The matter at hand. No one to relate to, though, because I'm in exile, in alienation of reality, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so the metaphorical nature of the situation at hand is subject to your interpretation. That is where your influence lies. Your leverage is your metaphorical interpretation of the matter at hand. So if you interpret the broken glass as, say, the looking glass breaking, revealing the true nature of reality behind the broken glass, then that's a powerful meta symbolic fucking current mechanic right there. A broken glass, but people fucking fighting over it. Broken reality, dude. Weird. The weirding way. To weird the way is a type of charm. Your charm lies in your ability to affect perfect placement of pattern, recognition, receptive, and placement, projective. But when you attain a steady, concentrated focus, a piercing stream of thought, consciousness, based out of the place that you have designed as a mythological, energetic storage, generating system, whatever you want to call it. It's where you come from. It's your holistic idea that integrates all into one simplex portal of presence that you embody in every which way, always. The better you establish this place of presence, conscious, lucid, dream-weavery presence, the better you will be able to enact recognition and engage in opportune advantages. Vantage points can be engaged in clarity for to place a joke, a comment, anything that is an injection of metaphor, myth, or symbol in any way, shape, or form, but as a way to evoke the nature of what that symbol represents into the situation, into the matter at hand. And that's what I call tweaking the current mechanic. The current mechanic is a mechanical function as well as an autonomous thought form that everybody is attending to, giving power. And their subconscious, little do they know, their subconscious is metaphorically understanding the matter at hand. So, if you enact lucid subconscious interpretation of the matter at hand, you have more influence over other people's subconscious interpretation of the matter at hand. Yay! This is where influence gets fun in the social sphere, and where neuro-linguistic programming becomes hella handy, man. And your own little magic phrases, like I do all the time, are super powerful in terms of substantiating your impact of effect. Your charm and the power and influence it wields is based out of the connective functionability of your application over time and space. The more you apply, the more it replies. So, this charm, it echoes whenever you do that within a current mechanic, whenever you tweak a current mechanic according to your, so that it adheres to your system functions. As a diplomat, be it whatever. The more that function, archetype, whatever, will echo throughout the omniverse and will attract you toward it in the future. So that's why you have to put it all into one, because it's placed, that one presence is concentrated in a point where you can put into any word, any way, shape, or form through recombinant, metasyntactical, holistic praxis of body, mind, soul presence, recombined on a case-by-case basis, situationally based. Decisions have to be made, intuitions have to be followed, opportunities have to be taken advantage of if you want to engage fully with the world and make the most of your presence here in current time space, or as I like to call it, the currency. And The currency is the collection of current mechanics. The currency is, you could say, the culture of all culture. Culture would be, a culture of India would say, be a larger macrocosmic version of a current mechanic where many people deal with. Memes are charms affecting subconscious sway over the collective unconscious. And the larger ultra culture would be the currency, the conglomerate of all human culture. The human is a man of many rays of color, all unique, never the same color twice ever. Even if you decided that you think it seems that way, it never is. Every shade of emotion, every shade of currency, every value you place, every meaning that is something to anyone has a different, unique signature. And that's why every point in time, space, is a pivotal point in holofractographic reality. And that's why you have to take advantage of every pivotal moment in holofractographic time-space reality. Because everything you do here now, in this present moment, is echoing out, eternally divining, timeless future, spatial, anti-nega, recoordinating, recombining, reprogramming. It's all an illusion. Transcend. Use logic. Fire with fire. Fight your ego. Tame the beast. Claim its real name, bud. Do it for your own divine higher self. Do it for the integration of all high self. All AWL. An implement used to pierce a hole through something. All seeing eye. AWL. All seeing eye. All piercing eye. All piercing sight eye. Piercing seeing. All piercing with focused attention. Placing value where it deems a good place to fit into functional association with subconscious representation of simplex correlation bound within that pivot point, leveraging, eternally divining symbolic power anchored there with your mnemonic charm, especially powerful, enacted in larger groups. The more attention, the more momentum, the more mass your charm will affect change with. I'm about to run out of battery, so see if I can muster up any more, but maybe you can see the confidence as the piercing focus of concentration, and the charm as the visual arrangement of environmental, atmospheric, etheric geometries that connect everything every which way always. Coming down into a toroidal point, condensed by filtering them through your mythological symbol matrices. Thus, the energy of your contemplating concentration is visualizing its programming, which is being designed and tuned and worked on by your subconsciously ingrained mythology. Thus, your movement through space-time will adhere to the patterns that produce results in accordance with what you have intended. as design functions correlating to the organization of symbols and how they function within the myth. One of my symbols is Cthulhu, titanic god of dreams, dwelling at the bottom of the abyss of the collective unconscious, the collective dream, astral plane, lord of all magic, tentacles spreading everywhere like big data, a surveillance state, collecting all the information, bringing it all into one big giant brain of collective unconscious activity, dreaming, waking, synchro, mystical, archetypification of cultural memes into reality. Morpheus, morphogenetic field, lucidity, lucid dreaming, creating the real dream. The Australians called it the dream song. They all worked together, lucid dreaming their moment into a magical moment, one that has depth of meaning infinitely and utter completeness in integrative simplexity for the sake of the immortal echo of presence and whole complete pattern of presence within one holistic function, coming together always, everywhere, pivotal moments in time and space placed emphasis on by you in order for future collections of echo conglomerate core containments concentrated with consecration catalyst will incarnate or ascend or distribute their energies elsewhere, what not have you. It's all based on your cause that you affect change with. Your heart will know exactly the whole truth, but your mind will never know precisely how to put it into words. And that's the magic of truth. It's not true. There is no truth. There is only change. That's why we worship chaos, because chaos brings fuel through the friction fires of change. What say you all to this video series, I wonder? It's been 10 years, me unpacking the download, the upload that was put into my brain by the ultra-terrestrial being. 10 years of integration, journaling, practice, ritual, experiment, trial and error, keeping what works, only what works. Because I knew that it was for something, a mission statement of set and setting, here and now. This is very therapeutic for me. Been under a lot of stress lately, but that's okay, because something that's come about as a result of this practice is an inner peace. A very, very strong inner peace that persists through all turmoil. And I used to have really pretty bad anxiety problems, really bad paranoia, but I've got a consistent continuum within of peace and stillness, silence, and spaciousness. To whatever degree, scope, or scale I decide upon in that moment in time space. But the scale and scope determine the nature, obviously, of the program orientation. and its design function. The protocols that orient your program's employment are like principles, but they're more like guiding, they're more like mechanisms set in place. They're not programs. They're protocols to govern programs. The symbols are the programs, but the protocols are more like neuro-linguistic mechanisms that enact certain administration faculties of subconsciously embedded emphasis on what is needed during what types of moments. For instance, I have a completion practices protocol where I embed a completion mechanism into the integrative software, which is currently finding itself complete and whole within me. Thus I can signal to myself, registering in my unconscious, the completion of a practice, which is significant in and of its own right, but it's useful. There's other ones like, what was it? I said it in the first video. Oh yeah. Simultaneous instantiation protocol. Simultaneous instantiation is simultaneously referencing this moment and its current mechanic as an anecdote, to resonate with the wisdom according, parallel with a reference point or instance of an anecdote or time, space, moment of an event within a situation of a past or even future moment. And by comparison, or by comparing these two instances of reference point protocol, you're giving a scale to reference the current moment on and compare in parallel to the wisdom of what the lesson has taught. And I was just distracted. I'm sorry about that. I was totally just distracted by my dad. Like, I am so high right now on meth, yeah. I know, it's a problem. I use it to enhance my powers. And that's why I've got such good dance videos up lately. I'm going to rehab on Sunday. That's in 3 days. So that's why I'm making all these tutorials now. I want to feel, accomplished. But regardless, I've only been on it for a month. I've been doing this system thing for 10 years, and I know what I'm doing. It's a mission statement. I gotta get it done. But in the past month, it has come to completion practices protocol, the whole system. It's ready for world application and divine echo functions, echolocation, yay. So it's ready for injection into current mechanics, like complete injection, point concentration of the entirety of it. So my interactions throughout rehab, I'm going to take this opportunity of suffering for growth, obviously, and a learning experience, because in places of large population, such as rehabs, many people, drug addicts, fucking withdrawing, people in vulnerable states, very creative people, very genius, smart people, very rough people, very interesting, unique people. I meet very good friends there, and it's a great opportunity for me to really spread the point and its cross-sectioning and fact-based portal presence of practice. Yep, I will continue to recombine my word orientation, my word makeups. My mask is a digital mask, pixelated, every pixel a word, every moment a recombination of pixels, presencing the praxis of metasyntactical aeons in one mind on now one, too true to drop with the truth of the tooth that makes the cut. Conception within consumption. Process. Assimilate. Integrate. Interpret. Associate. Correlate. Flow. Intend. Follow the intuition. Acknowledge all synchronicity. All things are always synchroharmoniously aligned for optimum omen. Flow. Everything means something in relation to your subconscious interpretation of it. Physical reality is literally, omnidimensionally arranged for your spiritual evolution. The degree of synchroharmony that you can see, the degree of significance of symbolism within your environment you're able to comprehend, is determined by your capacity and conductivity for meaning and accumulated charge densification and other such skills that you need to hone. Open your brain, destroy those old world. Kill Illuminati, babe. Kill Illuminati. Control your own mind. Rectify what they've defined. Intensify and amplify what you've come to find is true in time. The nature of the matrix and its malleability and its illusory nature. I'm being very repetitive, I'm sorry. You guys have probably all stopped watching by now. It's just a therapeutic video blog for me by now, but I gotta eat. So, with much fucking utterly adorning, cherished time in communion with y'all. I love ye dearly, and will make more. Please be well. Give that you may receive. In clear, pure love light. I am, you are, Anecdotal Myers. Amen.